Hi guys, and welcome to the Q&A sessions brought to you by Octa FX, best Forex broker Asia 2021 with more than 10 years experience. My name is Nicolette Mashile and I'm also known as the Financial Bunny. My guest today is quite an exciting one because he really has so much experience within the Forex trading market. His name is Prince Mkokeli Mampofu. He's an algorithmic trader, but of course also a financial analyst, and is quite passionate about financial education, financial literacy, and he has such a vast experience within the Forex trading market. Prince, thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
So I want to jump straight into our conversation today. We always talk about reduce, and a lot of people in South Africa have been taught to focus on the saving or the spending less. Why, in your opinion, do you think people have not been taught how to make more money or don't actually focus their time on learning how to make more money?
I think it's just the status quo. A lot of people grow up in this ideology of get a degree. Yes. After you get your degree, look for a good job.
Yes.
After you get a good job, retire.
Yes.
That's the pattern of life, And when you look at the past and our parents and general society, that's basically how people have, conditioned their minds to think. So opening yourselves up to other avenues and other opportunities are something that's very tricky to kind of step out into because a lot of people have been, conditioned to this way of thinking. So to get into that space where you're like, okay, this is something I want to step into and without any kind of reservations, it becomes very tricky for someone that's, taught that mindset of 9 to 5 and stick to the status quo.
And quite interesting enough, there's a saying by Robert Kiyosaki where he says savers are losers that I often find people take out of context. But I think you've kind of put it in context to say, there are spaces in your life where you are going to need to save because it is safe and it's secure. But then when you want to make more money, there are spaces where you're going to have to park saving for now and really engage yourself in other ways of making money.
Investing in general is not 100%.
Yeah.
So it's saving is secure.
Yes.
Investing and getting outside of that paradigm of thinking about just saving, but actually trying to grow money, try to grow avenues of making money is outside of that realm. So it's a total mind shift. So I think that's a major reason why a lot of people kind of struggle to get into that space.
It's probably why you'll ask a person, people will say, I'm investing, I've got investments with this and this and that. And then you say, what are you actually investing in? And people don't know. And I think it's because they're so used to parking money and they don't have to find strategies to actually grow it. Whereas if you look at trading as a form of making money, you've got to have a strategy. You've got to think about what is the next thing that you're going to do? What is the next move?
You have to have a very strict plan.
Absolutely. But let's talk a little bit about how you were taught to make money. So maybe let's start with who taught you how to make money and how did that person teach you? Did you have to go on a journey on your own? What was involved in all of that?
Okay, to give you a bit of a background, I grew up in a family that was very controversial in terms of the industries that they go into.
But what do you mean controversial?
No stealing or anything funny like that. But in terms of, in 1998, going back to when my father moved to East London, my family moved to East London, my father got retrenched from where he was working. So he was working for an insurance company, he lost his job. And there was no way of making money.
Yeah.
So he had to kind of think of other alternatives and ways of making money. I remember my parents used to sell different products. There was what we used to call a phone.
Okay.
So my phone is that they'd have like those boxes, not boxes, but it was like a steel box, and then they would have like phones there, and then people from around the community would come to kind of...
Oh, the public phone.
Those public phone sort of a thing.
I see, yes.
So that's where I kind of picked up that feel of, okay, this, you can look outside of just having a job,
the employment
and being employed,
yes,
and whatever, and you can actually make a life outside of that,
yes,
through other avenues,
yes,
and you can leverage these opportunities and kind of make money without having to directly, actively work, but actually create a passive, kind of a way of pursuing money.
And that's interesting because I think many of us, as you rightfully said, we've been conditioned to go to school, get a job, and that's how you make your money.
Yeah.
But when you're put in a corner, like your dad was, in a tight corner, you've got a family to take care of. Now
Five kids.
Five kids.
A wife.
5 kids?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And we had literally moved like a year from where we were staying before to East London.
Yes.
So now he's purchased the home, he got all these different assets that he has, he's got 5 kids. You have to make a plan.
And Lily asset, part of it, assets or liabilities, whichever one you were falling on. Yes.
So that's where I learned, I think we got that feel of, okay, you know what, you can actually go out there and make money.
One of my favorite wealth experts is a guy by the name of Dhaval Bhatia, and he's created the 7R theory of creating wealth, right? So each R has got a different way. So I think his first 2 are active, it's remuneration, it's rate, and then he's got return, royalties, rights, replication, and rent and return, right? So obviously it's just another way of putting different types of incomes, right? So there's interest income, there is your business income, there's return income, there's investment income, there's passive income, which is probably one of my favorite ones.
That's my favorite
Is
too.
that your favorite too?
That's definitely...
Why is passive income your favorite?
Okay, so one of the opportunities that my family took after that whole stage, the whole 1998 situation, was network marketing.
Okay.
So I got into network marketing in 2006.
Oh, Texas.
It was insurance.
Oh, you were doing insurance.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
So it was network. I got into network marketing. I built that business for a number of years. As a result, still today, I haven't worked that business for about 3-4 years, but I still get paid from that business.
Wow.
So passive income is definitely one of my favorites. You know, the idea that you can put your energy and build something that can reward you for, 10, 5, 7, 8 years after you've done the work. To me, it's very rewarding, and I think it's definitely one of my favorites.
And there's a concept in South Africa that we love pushing, and it's what additional income streams. And I find like it's so badly PR because we don't teach people the element of time that's important. We just say have additional income stream. People have 5-6 jobs, and it's taxing on their bodies. And at the end of the day, your health is going to be your wealth, right? So let's move on to Window Dimkhosa.
Yes.
You are on the spectrum of dating. You guys are on the higher side of risky, right?
Yes.
So I want to talk a little bit about your risk profile. Obviously, we understand what risk is. The probability of losing.
Yes.
What would you say is your risk profile, considering the fact that you're a trader?
Yes. I would say obviously because I am a trader, it's more aggressive.
Yes.
But yes. You have a family, you've got kids, so you kind of have to diversify to kind of more, I would say, secure profiles or avenues. So getting into more long-term investments, life insurance, life covers, those are sort of things that I would say are things that are, I would say, the basis or the foundation of my risk profile. But of course, because of the industry that I'm in, I would say aggressive to moderate.
Okay, that's interesting. And you pose something that's quite interesting. I think a lot of us don't think about is that when somebody asks you what your risk profile is, naturally people will say, this is who I am, but forgetting that their life stages can also affect the type of risk, because as you say, you have kids.
If you're a bachelor, you can do what you want.
If you're a bachelor,
you do what you want.
Go wild.
But hey, when you've got kids, you think, hey, okay, 1 or 2, you kind of want to position things in a way that it will kind of secure them as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, that's quite responsible. But let's talk about you being a trader. Now, in your profile or as I introduced you, I said something around you being an algorithmic trader. I'm going to park there for 2 seconds. I want to understand, in a space in South Africa where Forex trading has a very, the reputation is here, it's there, because obviously people put out this big, luxurious life of Forex traders, and I don't think it's a representation of the reality of being a Forex trader. Why did you choose to become a trader?
It goes back to time freedom.
All right.
The idea that you can actually kind of sit on your laptop from anywhere in the world. If you've got Wi-Fi, if you've got your laptop, you can make money. That was definitely the most attractive part for me. Definitely when I jumped into Forex, I was in the network marketing space, so obviously the mindset was was that
Yes.
initially, but to make money, but making money outside of having to kind of go and maybe sell a product or render a service to people. I can be anywhere. I don't need anyone else but my laptop and Wi-Fi. That was definitely the most attractive part for me. Most definitely.
Okay, now you threw us with this algorithmic trader. What does that actually mean and what does it entail?
So, surprisingly, algorithms, the algorithmic trading aspect of trading is actually 80% of trading in the whole spectrum of the Forex market. So if you look at most banks, most institutions that trade, they use algorithms. All right. So there's quantitative trading,
okay,
which is more of the mathematical side of it,
using numbers,
using numbers, and then there's the algorithm, which is basically like if you look at most applications and
or Instagram,
yes, they use algorithms to kind of pick up the direction and the motion of the market, and then basically move with that current. So obviously, with some, depending on the institution or depending on the bank, they would probably work with the algorithmic and the quantitative together.
Yes.
To kind of use the numbers as well to kind of tailor the algorithms. So there's a relationship there as well. So it's basically if that makes sense. I don't know if
it's making sense considering the fact that I'm thinking about Instagram. So I'm bringing it here to the people, right?
Yeah.
So if I think of Instagram, people will always say, what is the Instagram algorithm these days? Oh no, it's pushing reels, it's pushing video format.
Yes.
So is that essentially?
So it kind of goes with the flow of the market.
Yes. So
when
what the market is pushing
is generally bullish, and maybe the pattern has been running at a certain pattern.
Yes.
For example, it's been moving 10 pips up, 10 pips down, 10 pips up, 10 pips down. That will be the kind of the motion of the market.
And that's where you're catching your positions.
You would kind of catch the positions in that flow, if that makes sense.
Me, I'm a smart girl. Come on. I mean,
so they kind
give
of
me my flowers, man.
They create like artificial robots that kind of
speak to what the market
they
is flowing.
find these kind of flows, and yeah.
Sure, that is quite interesting, but that sounds very involved, man. Like, so you've got to study all of that. You've got to study all of the data.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
You can get people that can kind of create the algorithm based on your specific strategy. So if, for example, you've got a strategy that says, I'm going to speak lingo now.
Speak your lingo.
Breakout, retest, in terms of support and resistance.
Yeah.
And then
so that's
after
like a
the trend,
test. Stress
do you
testing
understand?
The concept.
Exactly. They stress test the concept, and then you can kind of create an AI that kind of looks for those specific opportunities and then automatically executes them. Yeah.
Now, my next question is me asking you about what would you say is the most difficult thing about being a trader? Now, before I get into that question, I want to squeeze in a quick question in between just so we can, dovetail straight into the next question.
Okay.
And I alluded to it earlier on. There's quite a number of Forex traders who are showing us the luxurious life, the fancy cars, the German machines, Is that realistic?
Don't get me wrong, there is a possibility of making money.
Yes.
The reason why a lot of people are attracted to this industry is because there is no lid, there is no cap.
Yes.
You can make as much money as you want.
But
obviously, there has to be the aspect of consistency.
Yes.
Making 100,000 today on a good trade, but losing it in a week is counterproductive.
Yeah.
So yes, there's a lot of money that can be made, but also there has to be that relationship of risk and reward.
Yes.
There has to be that thinking of consistency, risk management. When you have those aspects in play, there is more of a consistent mindset and thinking that needs to come with that, and not just say, okay, I want to make 100,000 Rand. Because if you want to make that big amount of money, you have to risk a big amount of money.
Yes.
Do you understand? So how long can you go go big.
Yeah.
Until
and how
you make
many
a big
times
loss.
can you do that?
Do you understand?
Yes.
So for consistency, you have to have a good plan.
Yeah,
Most
I like
definitely.
that. And I guess it really does take us to that question I wanted to find out. What are some of the most difficult things about being a trader?
Discipline.
Hey!
Discipline
Like a discipline.
and emotions.
Just to wake up in the morning and go to the gym. That all in itself I'm struggling with. So how will I be a trader?
You know, so you have to be disciplined to your plan. Stick to the plan. I know sometimes you can have, when emotions come into it, it's a problem. Whether the emotions are good, whether the emotions are bad. Just when you put emotions in trading, it becomes a problem. Because you see a position, you see an opportunity, and your mind says, "Oh, I know for sure this one's going down.
Yeah.
Brother, let's make some money."
Yeah.
And it can go against you.
Yeah.
You know, and that happens.
So it's
in industry.
when you let go of strategy and you use emotion because
that's when you have a problem.
I see.
So the biggest thing is to stay disciplined to your plan.
Yeah.
And remove your emotions, whether good, whether bad. Keep them out and stick to the plan. What's your trading plan?
What is your
and
trading
stick
plan?
to it. That's the most difficult. So the strategy in itself, you can learn and you can have it, but if you can't stick to it, what's the point?
I like that. Sticking to the plan. That is what Prince is saying. It's the most difficult thing about being a trader. If you don't have a plan, it's like winking at a girl in a dark room. What are you hoping to achieve? Please stay put. We will be back with more of, Prince really just getting into it and really teaching us about trading, but of course, about how to make your finances work for you. So, don't say I don't do nice things for you. I'm going to introduce you to something very, very exciting, right? Now, you know me. I am quite busy. I've got a whole lot of stuff going on, and I don't want to miss out on ways to make money. So, of course, Forex trading is one way I have tried to make money. So, I've jumped onto the Octa FX website, and I promise you one of the best features about them is that they give you and equip you with the right information. However, if you don't have the luxury of time like me, there is an amazing app that they've developed, and it's called the Octa FX Copy Trading app. So once you're on the app, you can choose the trader that you want to follow, and you can choose them based on various things, right? You can either choose them based on their gains, you can choose them based on their risk score, you can choose them based on their popularity, in other words, how many other people are actually copying them. You can even go into as far as going into their profile and reading that little bit of a bio that they've got there. So they'll let you know if, for instance, what their strategy looks like, and for some of them, they've got Telegram accounts which you can follow, and you can get to know a little bit better about who they are. Now, on the Octa FX Copy Trading app, it also gives you the statistics of how long this person has been on the actual app and what has actually been the trajectory on the app. And you can go as far as 6 months, or you can go all time, so the entire time that they've been on the actual app. So you download Octa FX Copy Trading app, you register, you log in, you choose the master trader that you want to copy, and Bob's your uncle. Welcome back to our Q&A sessions brought to you by Octa FX. We are sitting with algorithmic trader Prince Mkokeli Mampofu. Prince, thank you very much for staying.
Very lovely.
Let's have a conversation quickly. Quick. How much money can I make as a trader?
Can make a lot of money.
What is a lot of money? Give me a number. Give me a figure. I want to know if I'm going into
obviously,
this.
it depends on how much you're investing in. If you're investing, obviously, a couple of million, you stand to make a lot.
Don't give me PR answers. How much is the... Okay, between me and you, between friends.
No.
In one position, how much money have you made the most? In one. Okay, just to tell his family, guys, he doesn't have the money anymore.
No. And one position is one position.
Yes.
No. In one position, I've made about 130,000 rand.
Wow. Quick
Definitely.
one. 3 tips for somebody to become a successful trader.
Find a good strategy. Get a mentor. I want to stress, get a mentor.
Get a mentor.
It's very easy to, get in the industry just because you know and what to do. Doesn't mean you'll learn the right habits in sticking there. So definitely get a mentor. And third tip, the best tip, risk management. Risk management is key. Risk management is key. Remove your emotions from the game and stick to your risk management plan. So
risk management is your leveraging, stop losses, all of that stuff.
Definitely.
Let's quickly talk about young people who want to make money. I think South Africans have such a unique, character, personalities, the type of people that we are. What advice would you give young people in South Africa about making money?
Number one, obviously, before you do anything, you have to save.
Yes.
Saving is the most important. You can't do anything without money. So I know a lot of people, especially young South Africans, people that are in my industry, want to jump directly into getting into the Forex industry. And to get into the Forex industry is okay, but getting into the industry also and having a stable income to kind of support and kind of fund your I would say your business, because it is a business, is also pivotal. It's very important. So if you can get a job or you can get a way to kind of build your income and save money, definitely, I believe that is.
It's like having a side hustle. I mean, you don't jump straight into your side hustle.
Exactly.
It's called a side hustle for a reason. It's on the side.
Exactly.
Up until you can actually build it into a successful
Something
business.
lucrative.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Now, as somebody who is a beginner, and I've really tried to get into Forex trading, right? But I think I have not given it enough time. And I think one of the things that you said was also consistency. And I think at the time when I'm going to be consistent, this is something that I want to jump into. And I would say to anybody that is watching who is a beginner, right? Octa FX has got an amazing, first of all, they've got an amazing platform, www.octafx.com, amazing platform, but what they have there is what they're calling a beginner's course. And basically, from start, only a startup, they tell you how to set up your account. There's also a demo account that you can jump onto, right? But then also they've got the information. And I think one of the biggest things that I know about you is financial literacy. You love financial literacy. You like pushing financial literacy. And often what people don't account for is the education that is needed, even in Forex trading. And on that platform, you really get a whole host of information. So if you are a beginner, jump onto the beginner's course. I promise you, it's going to change your life because it's going to give you that step-by-step, right? And I want you to get also into it. And just tell me, when you were starting off as a beginner, what are some of the things that you can take out and give to somebody who is watching right now, who is a beginner? What is the top advice that you would give somebody who is beginning in the journey of trading Forex?
There is no perfect strategy.
There's no perfect strategy.
Number one.
Okay.
Number two, when you do find a strategy that works for you, stick to it and master it. And be patient. Allow your process. A lot of people get frustrated with not getting it as quickly as the next person. Stop watching Instagram and saying, oh, that guy, after 6 months, was driving a Lamborghini. Your process is your process. Take your time and, build your skill. At the end of the day, it's a skill. And if you take your time with it, it can be a very high value skill. That can be beneficial for you. The last thing, you never stop learning. You never stop learning. Be open to new information, be open to new ways of mastering and becoming better at what you do.
Before I let you go, talk to me about the importance of market psychology.
So important. So important. Market psychology, for people that don't know, is basically the grand scheme of how the market thinks and behaves. So generally, the market is buyers against sellers, right? So if you know and have that understanding that the people that are investing in the Forex trading market, the banks, the institutions, are people like you and me. Those are the people that drive the direction of the market. So if you have that understanding as a trader, it's very easy for you to kind of see the direction of the market before it happens. So if you know that, okay, the market is strongly moving in this direction and the market is most likely to exhaust and reverse, definitely you can use that to your advantage and make money. Not even watching the technicals, but by the fact of knowing that, okay, the market has been moving on a constant rise for the last 3-4 months. At some point, it needs to retrace and then continue with the trend. Having that as a knowledge and a knowing that, okay, this is how I can, manipulate the market is very important.
It's like almost knowing when it's going to rain. You don't step outside and say, when the sun is blazing hot, and say, oh, I think it's going to rain. You kind of study. You've had years and time in it.
It's been sunny for 3 months.
Do you understand?
It has to rain sometime.
Prince, you've been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. Now, guys at home, I know, we always say this. This is not financial advice. However, the best advice that I would give you right now is to watch this video over and over again. And when you think you're done, you better watch it again. This has been Q&A Sessions brought to you by Octa FX. Thank you very much for watching our Q&A sessions brought to you by Octa FX. And I personally am hoping that even if there's one thing that you have learned that is new today, I am absolutely happy. But if you want to start trading, do go onto the www.octafx.com website where you can download the Octa FX app. But got something really cool for 100% bonus. All you're gonna do is you deposit your money to actually trade, and we're going to double your money so that you can actually start becoming profitable with your trades. Do use my promo code. It is my name, Nicolette, 1L and 2 T's. I'll see you guys on the next one.